Hi everyone, in this video I wanted to share with you 3 lessons that I got about perspective. Hello and warm greetings to you. My name is Louise from louiseoreilly.com.au. Today I wanted to share with you 3 lessons that I learnt about perspective. So recently I was in a situation where I was doing something from my heart. I was helping someone else and I was feeling like I was really doing something nice for someone, and it was very interesting because others perceived it to be not a great thing, and twisted it a little bit so it wasn't seen that nice. I was a little bit shocked by this, so instead of reacting like a lot of people tend to, like I have in the past, I thought this might be a moment where I can take a bit of a pause and just look at the situation, and I guess let the emotions come through and feel what I was feeling. So the first lesson that I got about perspective was it is a universal lesson. We are here to learn and learn, really. So there's lots of things that happen in our lives that can conflict within us, can bring out emotions, a lot of negative emotions. But if we're feeling those negative emotions, that essentially is a lesson that needs to be learnt about it. So I kind of looked at it as to what lessons can I learn from this situation. Now, I'm not going to share the lessons that I actually learnt from it because I want this to be able to be applied to you in your lives as well. So if you just take a step back and go, okay, this is the situation. What is it that I need to learn about this particular situation? And by stepping back and really assessing how it could be a lesson to you, it takes you out of a victim mode where things are happening to you and it empowers you into a mode where you're really taking charge. And so you're actually, even though there is a negative situation that's happening to you, or a situation that you don't like is happening to you, you're taking something away from it and learning from it. And so essentially you're growing. Okay, on to number 2. Okay, number 2, my lesson was about neutrality. And essentially, I did this through meditation. So I meditated on this quite a lot because essentially we know all the answers within ourselves. So I connected with myself, and neutrality is one of the things that came through. And now what neutrality says is that there are no good or bad experiences in our lives. That those experiences are labelled as good or bad based on how we label them. And that they're all just experiences. So if we can, again, step back, get perspective, and look at it that it is not actually a good or a bad experience. It is simply an experience that we can learn and grow from. So that one, neutrality is something that I've been learning more about in the recent weeks. And if that's something that you also have been experiencing, or you'd like to learn a little bit more about neutrality, give us a comment and I'll try and help as many people as I can, provide information on that. It can be a little bit confusing, especially when you are feeling emotions that are not quite nice, to step back and go, well, this is actually a neutral situation, but I'm more than happy to help in that area. Okay, number 3. So my number 3 lesson was about importance and luck, believe it or not. So I turned this mountain that I that I had, it was something that I just couldn't shake, because I couldn't believe that someone had turned something so positive into negative, even though I'm going against what I just said about neutrality. So my labels were, it went from something so positive to something so negative. And so it was something I couldn't really shake. And then I was making this big mountain out of this situation. And I turned it into a molehill, because in reality, in the grand scheme of everything, in the grand scheme of my life, it actually isn't that important. It's not a life-changing thing. It's just something little that happened, that because of my reaction, my quite large reaction or an intense reaction to it, made me feel as if it was very important. By getting perspective, stepping back out of that situation and looking at it in terms of my whole life, or in terms of my family's life, or in terms of, the human race, or in terms of the earth, it really isn't a big deal in the slightest. Not even a blip on the radar screen, really. So I was able to just go, you know what, this doesn't actually matter. And why is it taking up my mind and my thoughts and my time thinking about something that doesn't make a difference, and especially when it's not making a positive difference to anyone else around me. In terms of luck, I actually, that night, it was amazing, because we'd had such warm days leading up to that day. And then we had quite a cool day and a very cool night, which cleared up the sky beautifully. And I stepped out of my home and you could just see the stars. They were amazing and bright and clear. And it just made me realize how lucky we are to be on this planet in this time. And it kind of made me feel like there's no need to worry about this stuff. Just to let it go. We can acknowledge those feelings and those split-second reactions we have. Emotion is very important and must be acknowledged, because there's a reason it's there. It's important to be there. But it's also important to work through it, to learn the lessons, and then to let it go. So they're my 3 lessons that I learned about perspective. I hope you have got some value out of this video. And I have written a blog about it. If you want to read the blog, it will be either in the description or the comments. There will be a link to that wherever it's posted. And I hope you've really got something out of this, out of perspective, and you're able to apply this in your own lives. But until next time, lots of joy, love, and peace to you.